Hi Aquarius, welcome to your December reading. This is going to be a general spread for the month of December. I can't believe we're already here at the end of the year. I feel like we're all ready for this. I feel like we're all ready for a new beginning. And it truly does feel like I've only done Pisces so far, but it truly feels like we have a wrapping up energy. And I just pulled two cards for you. And it feels the same, but it's interesting how differently these cards are expressing themselves. And I will read them in just a second. I just want to talk quickly about my personal readings. I'm being called, I will still offer the pre-recorded video readings. I've been doing them for years. I love meditating, reading your questions beforehand. Sometimes messages come throughout the day, but I'm finding myself, being a little bit quicker, a little bit faster. And I want to offer kind of like a more personal connection, maybe via phone. So if you feel more drawn to have a reading that way, I think I'm going to open the door to that and see kind of how it goes. Obviously, you can record it and listen to it in the future, but I'm feeling drawn to that connection. I think that's something that we all kind of need a little bit more of, and and challenging myself in that way. So I'll leave that information below. Let's get into your reading. I want to start off reading this Earth Warriors Oracle card, just a little bit of it. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but it says, Blessings of Kumu, no good thing shall be withheld. Combined with the Rattlesnake Oracle, it's very interesting. The Rattlesnake Oracle is about releasing fear. It's a venomous card in this Oracle deck, and I'll read it in just a second. But it's looking like, and I think we can feel this on a major scale, there's a lot of release happening all around the world when it comes to the things that we store within us that are no longer serving us. And give me just a second. I want to read this Blessings of Kumu. It says, The universe wants to express its creativity, healing, and brilliance through you. It does not want to be limited to repeating what has already been. Newness needs to burst through you into startling expressions of abundant life. You are guided into unknown territory, guided to go beyond that which you have known yourself and your world to be, so that something original and necessary can be brought to life. The universe knows all that you are in need of so that you can best attain your destiny. All shall be provided for you. Expand your faith to allow for the greater workings of Great Spirit. It says in a reading, resources are coming to you now. If you have been in lack, limitation, or anxiety about such things happening, relax and substitute your stress for absolute trust that the universe will provide all good things with generosity and grace. If you find this challenging, take it one step at a time, reprogramming your heart and mind into new habits of peaceful trust. It will feel much better to live like this. It is not foolishness, but wisdom that embraces such unconditional faith. Know that the provision of all resources required is a certainty. The only variables are the details of how the journey unfolds. When you tune into your heart, you'll remember that you are loved, protected, and guided in every moment. Trust the universe. Yeah, great wisdom card. I truly feel like you can only settle into this knowingness if you have that absolute, it's a state of peace. It's a state of being. It's a state of love. It's that fifth dimension that we're all kind of being ushered into, to think more with this aspect, with this knowingness. It doesn't make sense. That's the hard thing. The mind, it doesn't make sense. Let me read this rattlesnake card, because part of me feels like in order to kind of ascend to, it's a different vibrational frequency or experience. As you do this, certain things can no longer exist there. And in that process, that's that spiritual awakening people think is, just this ooey gooey, lovely experience. No. That's when the stuff, the junk, comes up and we have to look at it face to face. But I want to read this rattlesnake card, or just a part of it really quickly. Give me a second. If rattlesnake makes an appearance in your cards today, look for ways that anger or fear may be manifesting in your life. It may be signifying self-destructive behavior, or it may be a message that others are working against your best interests. Rattlesnake is one of 2 venom cards. Scorpion is the other. Fear and anger, like venom, are poisons that must be purged from the body that carries them. They are toxic obstacles to healing and should be dealt with using constructive honesty. What or who are you afraid of? What or who are you angry at? Now is the time to confront these emotions and the people whose actions, whether deliberate or inadvertent, contributed to your fear and anger. Forgive them, if appropriate, and put this poisonous experience behind you. Powerful, powerful cards. I mean, to me, perfect timing, end of the year, closing out cycles. Let's leave this in 2021, right? Let's open up the door for this ascending energy here that's much more harmonious, much more peaceful, feels much better residing within our being as a soul. Beautiful cards. Even with this card, as I was saying it, I mean, there's a lot of spiritual work that can take place in many different ways. It's not just, this peaceful meditation. Sometimes it's actively taking forward steps, like maybe doing a detox, maybe doing like a parasite cleanse, maybe whatever feels calling to you when it comes to releasing things that attach to energies like fear, anger, resentment, because there are physical manifestations of that. And I feel like detox, simple fruit and veg, it doesn't need to be complicated, can be very transformational as well. So that's just a side note. Let's get into your tarot now. Okay. Oops. So interesting how similar this is to Pisces reading. Okay, let's get started with the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords comes in when we are not at peace. This person can literally not sleep. This is that unrest, and something within the soul triggers this. I like it because it's near the end. It's almost at the 10. We're almost ready to let go of it. But we have to have an awareness that it's there. So being very honest with yourself. What do I no longer wish to carry around in my heart, in my being? What is it that's creating conflict within my being? Because there's a healing taking place here, and it's talking about possibly for a lot of you, maybe feeling alone, maybe feeling different, maybe feeling like there's nobody out there for me, especially if you're coming here for a love relationship. I'm seeing something here tied to the past, creating a disharmony within you. You're holding on to it. You carry it. This is the energy of something being done to you instead of for you. So kind of taking ownership for your entire life. And I know that sounds really harsh. I've had to kind of go through that many times, repeatedly with myself, seeing people that have done me wrong as instead of villains. What did I need to learn from that? And I feel like even saying that, there are infinite life scenarios that feel like that couldn't possibly be something good for me to learn from that. I get it. I get it. But if you believe in karma, or, I mean, simple, the Justice card, this is like energy always balances itself out. Always. So this is science. This isn't some abstract theory. This is everything always is in balance. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, right? It's always yours. If you give it out, it still belongs to you. It's just, I'm saying this because I'm seeing these difficult cards of releasing something. It's this feeling of alone. I'm having to do it all alone. I don't have enough resources. I'm always worried about this. This is cutting that cycle. It's like putting a stick into the bicycle wheel of experiences here. And I'm saying this because I'm seeing the Emperor and the World. The Emperor is a card of wisdom. It's a card of somebody that takes responsibility. And I'm seeing an end of a cycle here, because somebody has been stuck for way too long. The Hanged Man is hanged for a reason here. He's in suspension for a reason. He's waiting to have that moment of clarity, of enlightenment. Why did this all happen? And I think even in the simplest of terms, we can look at 2021, for example. Like, why did this all happen, huh? Or 2020. As a collective, we're clearly being pushed, not so gently anymore, into this new experience where I feel like when I'm looking at the Queen of Swords, I mean, she's holding this sword. The sword always to me represents absolute truth and clarity. I always see Archangel Michael with a sword. It's not the most pleasant energy, to be honest, sometimes, especially if we're not wanting to see it. But it's telling me it's aligning you to your path, and it's creating, I feel like, this warrior within you. That's the only way I can describe this energy. Through a lot of adversity, it's created a warrior, a wise warrior of truth, and ready for a new experience. This is big energy that you're ready to kind of enter into 2022 with, and I feel really inspired and it's not just when it comes to love. It feels like it when it comes to your purpose. It feels like it when it comes to truth. I feel like we need more Aquarius energy kind of speaking truth, because I feel like, again, you guys are the water carriers. You can carry that emotion very well and not kind of be caught up in it. I have an Aquarius moon. I'm able to do this as well. I can see emotion, but I don't empathize it because I can see, and I think this is a wonderful tool when working in kind of like the healing arts, where you don't kind of go down to that period where you take on energy, to that energy where you take on their energy and you feel that same way. No. You see the healed, whole potential, the truth of the person, and you hold that space for them. That's what I'm seeing here. Something about your wisdom, something about the truth that you can see clearly, holding space. And this is somebody very confident, knowing what they know, moving forward, ready to see advancement. I feel like not just in your life, but like the people around you, possibly, maybe the whole world, ready for big changes. I want to see what this world is for you, though. Let's see what this changes. Wow, interesting. Similar cards. Through a lot of adversity, I mean, just to quickly summarize what I'm seeing the change being about, I'm seeing like through a lot of adversity, through a lot of, feeling alone, feeling kind of on the outskirts, feeling kind of different, I feel. Being a little bit sad about the way things haven't gone, even though, again, I'm seeing you being able to see truth very clearly here, wanting fairness and balance. And I feel like even waiting a little bit, feeling like I'm having to wait too long for it. I'm getting really frustrated is what I'm seeing here. It's interesting. I'm seeing like carrying a lot of the energetic load for a lot of people. I want to say stop doing it. It's not your responsibility and you're just hurting yourself. There's no reason for this. It's actually causing a distortion in your life with that Three of Swords here. The Three of Swords is the mind overriding the heart. It's kind of creating this crossed energy within the heart. Release the mind, release the way you think things are supposed to be, release the tension, release the arguments, the conflict, that conflict energy. In shamanism, I think a lot of you guys know that I work in that field, so I feel a little bit drawn to bring a little bit of that consciousness into my readings sometimes. We use food. I mean, among like plant medicine, we use food to kind of eliminate distortions because I believe a lot of people can heal themselves. So when I see distortions, and we're talking about those first two cards, the oracle cards that came out for you, releasing fear, releasing distortions within the energy body, and that message about detox coming up, it can be very helpful. Personally, I work with what do they call it? I guess it's like the mucus-free or alkaline type of diet, kind of under the consciousness of Dr. Sebi or Dr. Robert Morse, Dr. Spear, or Professor Spear. He does some talks on it, where you stop ingesting things that create inflammation, disharmony, or what we call distortions in the body, and the body heals itself. It can be a month long, it can be a lifelong change, but your body starts to harmonize. And that's why they call it the alkaline diet. It literally alkalines your body. That's why a lot of people do the Wim Hof method, right? It alkalines your body. So there's techniques here to kind of shift this distortion of what I'm seeing here. And the whole reason behind this detox, I mean, it's a spiritual thing. It can, again, you can kind of, I feel like, fast forward it by doing things in your day-to-day 3D world, but it's happening nonetheless to bring in love. I mean, really, I think most people come to tarot readings for readings about love. I'm seeing a cycle ending here. Goodbye 2021. And this is the reason why, and this is your justice, and this is kind of what has led you up to this point where I'm ready to let go of this experience. It always hurts. It doesn't always hurt. That's not the truth. If you sit with the truth, it doesn't always hurt. Sometimes it works out, and until it works out, all of the things before will not work out. All the things that aren't meant for you will not work out. Be at peace with that. It's a difficult pill to swallow, but if anybody can, it's Aquarius, I feel. Because look what's coming into balance right in between this ending, new beginning, justice, getting what you deserve, your absolute truth, on the other sides of it. And I truly think we're kind of experiencing the split in consciousness where we get to choose which way we want to go. Some people, it feels good it feels comfortable. This is what I know. I'm alone. I barely have enough. It never quite works out. I always kind of mess it up, or they always kind of mess it up. We can live in that consciousness, or we can radically remove these swords, this mind, this overthinking, and it's bringing it from the past. This is literally the card of bringing the stuff from the past forward. It's kind of at this crossroads. Do I want to keep doing it? It's saying, look forward optimistically. You have the world in your hands. The world is literally right here. Let this burden go. Let this 10 of Wands go. it's not yours to carry. You're carrying somebody else's stuff, is what I'm seeing here. Not yours. Have the eyes to see it. I feel like some of you are carrying stuff around energetically and you don't even know it. That's why I know it goes on deaf ears. A lot of us are always saying, meditate, and truly, if somebody kept telling me that, I'd be like a little bit annoyed. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. This is how you create that state of harmony, of being within of your heart. That's the whole goal, to release the mind. That's where the enlightenment comes in. That's where the aha moments come in. But I'm seeing again the harmony here, the balance here. This is what's changing. I want to see what this Two of Cups is, though, for you guys. Give me a second. My goodness. This is beautiful. So clarifying the Two of Cups, what's coming in as we go through this let go of this release, of this purge, of this detox, spiritually, physically. What comes in is the Hierophant. The Hierophant I can read as two things. I can read this as a relationship forming, developing, going to the next step. If you've been waiting a long time, waiting for something to go and move to the next step, again, that alignment vibrationally to a new experience, a better experience, an evolved experience here. And it's telling me it's getting ready to move. What's sandwiched in between here is guaranteed success after difficulty. And yes, that might have been a slip here, because I'm seeing the potential of family and pregnancy. Not for everybody, but if you want that. It feels very harmonious as I'm reading this. And when I'm seeing that Three of Swords, because it's clearly out of place in this reading, to me it's saying, I'm truly a believer that you don't need to have everything healed until, and that's when the person comes along. Sometimes, relationship comes in and we work through things together and they trigger us and they become a mirror, right? For our soul's growth. They're exactly what we need to grow, to become our best selves, to evolve, to heal. There's like a recalibration happening, and it's definitely talking about love life for some of you. It's talking about balance, though, giving and finally receiving at that capacity. It's not just giving it out. Remember when I talked about that earlier? It still belongs to you. And I feel like somebody here has definitely asked for it to be returned in, whatever you want to call this. This is a lovely, lovely, harmonious match, a healing match, a happy match. Brings a lot of emotional fulfillment. This is two people making plans. There's two cards of marriage here. If you want it. But this is, what is marriage? It's a soul. It's two souls coming together, though. That's a marriage of souls. Doesn't need to be in the government sense. That's my Scorpio moon coming out. Anyways, I feel like I want to end this reading here. Beautiful, beautiful energy. If you feel drawn for a personal reading, obviously I offer 2 now. We'll see how it goes. So if you want a pre-recorded video reading, I'll still do those. Or if you want to speak with me, I'm open to that. So I'll leave the information below. All right. Thanks, Aquarius. I will be back soon with more readings. So definitely subscribe. And thank you guys for all your support. Truly, truly appreciate it. All right. Until next time. Take care.